The Gambler by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Retold by Catherine Sklerova. Chapter 3. Yes, she was being very thoughtful. While leaving the table, she immediately ordered me to accompany her for a walk. When we went to the fountain in the park, "Why has the Frenchman stopped accompanying you on walks and talking to you?" I asked her suddenly. "Because he's rude," she replied. "Have you noticed that he's not on good terms with the general?" "Yes," I replied shortly. "And I suppose you want to know why," she continued. "That is all because the general is mortgaged to him with all his property. If the general's mother does not die soon, the Frenchman will become the absolute possessor of everything which he now possesses. Then the rumors are true. Everything is mortgaged to the Frenchman. Mademoiselle Blanche will never become Madame General. She will leave him very soon. Can anything be more horrible than the way in which she wishes to marry him for money? What do you think of it, Polina Alexandrovna?" "Yes, it is very horrible. But why are you so cheerful? What are you so pleased about?" "Are you glad to lose my money?" she said. "What? I told you I would never win for other people. I obeyed you simply because you ordered me to play roulette. You must not blame me for the result. I warned you that no good would ever come of it. Why do you need money so much? You promised me to explain everything to me." She looked at me angrily. "Why do you ask me this question?" "Because you promised to explain matters to me," I answered. "Listen, I am sure that as soon as I begin to play for myself, I will win." She made an angry grimace. "You must not be angry with me," I continued. "I know I am only a non-entity in your eyes, but please accept my money from me if I win. A gift from me cannot offend you. Moreover, it was I who lost your money at roulette today." She looked at me sarcastically. "I'm in debt," she said at last. "I borrowed some money and must pay it back again. I believe that I can win this money at gambling. Perhaps it is because I have no other options. Or perhaps it is because it is so necessary for you to win. It is like a drowning man catching at a straw." Polina looked surprised. "What? You told me 2 weeks ago that you were sure of winning at roulette if you played here, didn't you? Were you joking?" "True," I answered. "I always felt certain that I would win, but sometimes it does not happen so. I am certain that as soon as I begin to play for myself, I will win. I do not know why I'm sure of that. I only know that I must win. I do not doubt your ability to win anything," she said seriously. "By the way, you said that you wanted to pay off the debt. It must be a large one. Is it to the Frenchman? I can do everything to help you. I repeat that I'm your slave." "You talk like a child." "My debt does not concern you. All you need to know is that I must pay it, and you will help me to win this money at the gambling tables. By the way, why do you ask all these questions? You are very clever today. You astonish me." "You see, I can really do everything for you," I said. "I have lost my dignity when I fell in love with you. I have become a madman. I cannot carry off the situation properly. Do you know the reason? It is because we Russians are gifted to be able to find a proper mode of expression. It is all a question of mode. Most of us need a spice of genius to choose the right form of behavior, and genius is lacking in us for the reason that so little genius at all exists. That is why, for us, the mode is so important. If I am wrong, you must stop me. You must stop and correct me more often when I am speaking to you, because I may say everything that is in my mind. You see, I have lost my manners. I agree that I have none. I will tell you why. I do not have a single human thought in my head. All my thoughts are about you. For a long time I have been ignorant of what is going on in the world, here or in Russia. You know the cause of my obsession. I have no hope now, and I am a mere slave in your eyes. Wherever I go, I see only you. All the rest is nothing to me. I want to win money at gambling on my behalf and give it to you simply to make you pleased. Do you want to buy my love and respect with money?" "Not at all," I replied. "I find it difficult to explain myself. Do not be angry at my idea. However, I do not mind if you are angry." "Why should you be angry with me? Because I call myself your slave?" "Yes, I am your slave. When I sit in my room and hear the rustle of your dress, I am ready to bite my hands like a madman." "You're laughing." "No, I'm not laughing." She stopped laughing. She was breathless. "I do not care about your laughter," I continued. "I do not fear your laughter or scorn. I do not fear your anger. I love without hope, and I knew that since that first moment I will love you 1,000 times more. I will continue enjoying the unbearable pain which your coldness gives me. My love for you increases with every day. That may seem to be almost an impossibility. Why should I not become a fatalist? Say but the word, and I will jump into the abyss. Do you not believe me? Say it, and you will see." "What stupid nonsense!" "I do not care whether it is wise or stupid," I said in return. "I only know that in your presence I must speak of my feelings. I lose all my pride when I am with you, and everything stops to matter. Why should I have wanted you to jump into the abyss? That will be of no use to me. Splendid, I cried. You used the words of no use to crush me. I can't see through you. You like to torture me. I remembered that at this moment she looked at me in a particular way. I think my face was expressing all the maze of deep sensations within me. Surely you're not a coward? If I tell you kill that man, would you kill him? She asked. Whom? Whomsoever I wish. The Frenchman? Do not ask me questions, return me answers. She waited for my reply with such impatience that I found the situation unpleasant. Tell me directly, I said. Are you serious with me right now, or it is a mere joke? Tell me how things stand at once. Are you shy of me? Are you ashamed to be frank with me? If you do not tell me how things stand, I will have to do something. I am not going to talk to you on that subject. I have asked you a question, and I am waiting for your answer. Well, I will kill whomsoever you wish. Do you really want me to do it for you? I can order you to do it or not. It is up to me. I didn't know what to say to her words. At that moment, I took her words half as a joke and half as a challenge. Yet she had spoken with great seriousness. There was something cynical in what she said. It passed all bounds. This was more than slavery. Yet my heart shook within me. Suddenly she began to laugh. We were sitting on a bench near the fountain, just opposite the point in the alley before the casino where the carriages drew up in order to set down their quests. Do you see that far Baroness? She said to me. She is the Baroness Birmingham. Just look at her husband, a tall Prussian with a stick in his hand. Well, go to the Baroness, take off your hat to her, and insult her in French. You will do so because you have promised to do anything for me. Instead of murder and tragedy, I wish only to laugh. Her husband will strike you with his stick for sure. Do you challenge me? You think I will not do it? Yes, I challenge you. Go, because such is my wish. I want to have a good laugh and nothing else. I stood up and went silently to do her order. Of course, her order was very stupid. Anyway, I had to do it. I knew it was as I approached the Baroness, I felt as excited as a schoolboy. I was in a frenzy, as though I were drunk. 2 days had passed since that day. What noise and commotion there was. And what stupidity and bad manners. Well, it was both stupid and funny. I'm not quite sure what the matter with me was. My mind seems to be all confused now. And Paulina was the cause of it all. Yes, Paulina. There was something mad and beautiful about her. She's tall and straight and very slim. The imprint of her foot is long and narrow. Her hair was a reddish tint and her eyes are like a cat's eyes. How she glances at me with pride and scorn. On the evening of my first arrival, 4 months ago, I remember that she was sitting and talking cheerfully to the Frenchman in the saloon, and the way in which she looked at him was unforgettable. When I went to my own room upstairs, I kept fancying that she had slapped him in the face, that she had slapped him in the right on the cheek. Her look was so peculiar. Ever since that evening, I have loved her. I did her order in despair. I stopped before the casino. A moment later, the Baroness and her husband were a few steps away from me. I took off my hat and bowed. I remembered the Baroness was dressed in a silk dress, grey in color. She was fat and short, while her chin completely hid her neck. Her face was purple. As for the Baron, he was tall, about 45 years old. These details I noticed within a few seconds. My bow caught their attention. They stopped before me and looked at me attentively. Dear Baroness, I will be your slave till the end of my life, I cried loudly. I bowed again, put on my hat, and walked past Baron with a rude smile on my face. Are you mad? Said the Baron to me. I was silent. Still, I had a rude smile on my face as I looked at him. He seemed to hesitate. He was angry. The Baroness also was angry and confused. Some of the passers-by began to look at us in astonishment. The Baron was beginning to feel nervous. Every second, his face was growing darker. I continued to talk about some stupid things. Yahoo, Yahoo, I said loudly. He took his wife by the hand and entered the casino without saying anything to me. I walked quickly in the direction of Paulina Alexandrovna. She was not there. I found her in the hotel soon afterwards. She was sitting in the parlor, with the general and his children beside her. Here you are at last, said the general to me. May I ask you about the meeting today with the Baron? Probably you mean my meeting today with the German, I asked. With the German? The German was the Baron Birmingham, one of the most important persons in Roulettenberg. I heard that you had been rude both to him and the Baroness. Not in the least, I said, but you simply terrified them, cried the general angrily. The Baroness walked towards me as if I had been a worm, which could be crushed with the food. I have self-respect too. I took off my hat and said politely, "Dear Baroness, I will be your slave till the end of my life." It was a simple joke, and nothing more. Then I cried Yahoo, Yahoo, loudly. You must knew that when I was in Berlin, I often used to hear the Berliners repeat a certain phrase, Yahoo. When I met this couple in the carriage drive, this phrase suddenly came to my mind. I shouted it twice. The first time in an ordinary tone, and the second time very loudly. That is all. I must confess, this explanation made me very pleased. "You're making fun of me," cried the general angrily. I knew that my behavior was bad, I confessed. I acted stupidly and indecently. Also, let me tell you that I'm very sorry for my behavior. I think that at that moment I lost control over myself. I felt a bit nervous. For the last 2 or 3 weeks I have not been feeling well at all. That is to say, I have been sick and irritable. For example, on more than one occasion I have tried to pick a quarrel, even with the Frenchman. In short, I have recently been showing signs of ill health. I hope the Baroness and the Baronne will take the circumstances into consideration when I go to beg their pardon. I was unconscious of what I was doing. What is your opinion about it, General? Enough, he said. It will be impossible to justify you in the eyes of the Baron and the Baroness. The Baron approached me in the street and told me about your indecent behavior. He could not understand how I could hire you as a teacher for my children. I felt ashamed to hear that. From this day forth, you will not belong to my house. We must depart. Here is the money, and here is the count. I will not pay your hostel expenses, and here is the count. Goodbye. From now on, we are strangers. From you, I have never had anything but trouble and unpleasantness. I took the money and account silently. I bowed low to General and said, I regret very much that you have felt ashamed of me, but you had no right to answer for me to Baron. I never belonged to your house. I am just a family teacher. I am not your son or your servant. I am an independent person, a university graduate, and a gentleman. The Baron complained of me to you, as though I had been unworthy to answer for my own behavior. I am very offended. I will go tomorrow to the Baron and challenge him to a duel. He was very surprised by my words. What happened next is exactly what I predicted. What? Cried the General. That is nonsense. Do you not realize the harm it will do to me? Do not laugh at me. Out of respect for my rank, do not do this. We have police authorities here. They will arrest you if I ask them to do so. They will send you out of this place to prevent any further problems on your part. I respect the Baron. You will not challenge him to a duel. Do you understand what I say? General, do not disturb and alarm yourself about me. I'm a shameful position now. I'm under the guardianship of a person who is qualified to have a control over my free will. It is a vain of you to disturb about me. Alexis Ivanovich, forget this senseless plan. Do you know what will come of it? Only more problems, Alexis Ivanovich. Alexis Ivanovich, you will agree with me. I'm sure that at that present I must move with special care. Yes, with very special care. You cannot know my current position now. When we will leave this place, I will be ready to receive you back into my household. But now, well, I cannot tell you all my reasons. I moved toward the door, promising that I would do everything decently. Russians, when abroad, should watch all their words. They wonder what other people are thinking of their behavior. It is extremely important for them. They always prefer the form of behavior which he has once had and for all became accepted and established. They will follow this at hotels, at meetings, or when on a journey. But these were special circumstances which compelled him to move with special care at present. This fact made him a coward. It had made him change his tone towards me. This fact I took into consideration because he might go to the authorities tomorrow, so I had to act carefully. Yet I didn't mind the General's anger. It was Polina I wanted to anger. She had treated me with a great cruelty. Other feelings began to form in my brain. I was very angry with her. I was a nonentity in her eyes, but I was an independent man before others. I could answer for my behavior without fear. Let people see what they would see. Let Polina have a good fight. While going to my room, the chambermaid told me a surprising piece of news. She informed me that Polina Alexandrovna had departed 1 hour previously to stay with a cousin at Karlsbad. What can that mean? The maid told me that Madame had packed her trunks early in the morning. Yet how is it possible that no one else seems to know of her departure? Or I am the only person to be unaware of it. Moreover, the maid also told me that Marina Fifilovna had some quarrel with the general 2 days before. Probably the words were concerning Mademoiselle Blanche. Suddenly, something decisive was approaching.